everybody, I'm Mahin, and this is a very special and different edition of the Bellydance Quickies. Welcome to my office. So today we are going to talk about how to slow down your music for better practice and rehearsals. Now, a while ago I did a blog post on this, and I will link to it in the box down there, about how it's good to have slower versions, especially for certain kinds of pieces, especially things like drum solos, things with a lot of quick footwork and stuff like that. It's really, really handy to get your accuracy before your speed. So today we're going to get on my computer right here, and I'm going to show you how to use a free program to create some slower versions of the pieces that you are practicing with. Okay, ready? Okay, so first let's go get the program. Now, Audacity is free, so you can just type it in. Audacity, download, free. And this is their logo, so this is their legit site right here. And you're going to go to download, and then you can download the Windows version, the Mac version, whatever version you need for the computer that you have. And then you're going to download the file and run the exe file like you would do for any other piece of software, and then we'll get into the program itself. Okay, so once you've got Audacity installed, then you open the program, and this is where it's going to take you to this blank workspace right here. So you need to go and find your song that you want to work with, and I think I'm just going to use a little snippet of a drum solo to show you this. So you're going to go up to File and click, and then you're going to go to Open, and then you need to navigate to wherever your file is. So I think mine is, so you're going to go look for your file, and I think mine is down here. Alright, so I am going to use this track right here. I'm going to click on that track, and so when you open up your file, it's going to open in this space right here, and you're going to see that the music just looks like a bunch of little lines and waves on it. And this is actually a file that I created with snippets of a drum solo that I use for teaching one of my workshops. So you might recognize this drum solo, so you can hear this little passage here, like that. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to slow it down. So if this was a full drum solo, perhaps you wanted to slow it down so you could get a better handle on all the little parts of the riff so that you can do a cleaner job choreographing it, or because you just want a slower version to practice to so you can get all the moves down really accurately and then build your speed. There's a lot of reasons why you might want this slower, especially if you're teaching with a group. It's easier to keep everybody together slower and then kind of train them up for speed a little bit. That's really handy, and I go into all of that in the blog post, and you can read about that. So here we have it. So let's just get a little bit oriented to the few things that we're actually going to need on the controls here. So your little green arrow here, of course, is your play, and that makes it go. And if you want to stop it, you can use the pause right here, or you can use the full stop. Now, if you notice this little line here, it goes and travels as the music is playing. And if you hit pause, this is going to stay exactly where you put it, and that's really handy sometimes. However, if you use full stop, like this, then it's going to come back to the beginning. So that's one thing to be aware of. Another thing is these controls up here on the menus, if you only hit pause, then you're going to find that they're grayed out, and you can get frustrated by that if you don't know that. So here, let me show you. I'm going to run it, and I'm going to pause it, and then I'm going to go here, and you see how these are all gray? I really couldn't use any of these choices here if I was trying to do one of those things. So if you see something grayed out, then stop and think about where you have chosen to use either the pause button or the full stop button, because that might be your issue. So what we want to do is we want to slow our music down. So the effect that we're going to be using is going to be the tempo. And there are two things on this effect bar up here. There's a lot of things actually, but you have change speed and change tempo. So if you change speed and you if you do it to any I don't know, like if you do it too much, then you're going to change the actual pitch of your music as well. So that's not the choice that you want. You want change tempo, which is only going to change the pace of the beats and not change the pitch of the music. So that's important. So you want change tempo is the thing that we're going to look for. All right, so here we have our file. And if you have an original file and you want to be completely sure that you don't change your original file, you can right from the start go ahead and make a copy of your file. You're going to come up to here and do Save Project As, and let's say I'm going to make this Test Slow Down. And I'm going to watch where I save it, because I know I have a habit of doing this, and the window that opens up, sometimes I hit save and I'm like, dang, where did I put that thing? So I see that I put it in my in-ears, out-hips DS tracks right here, so I know where that is. And what it's saving here is actually the working file and not the exported music. We're going to do that later. So I'm going to save this, and this is going to be the copy that I'm going to work off of. So now let's, you know what I'm going to do, I think just for grins, I'm going to make each one of these little segments a different speed, so that way you can kind of hear the difference. So let's keep this first segment right here. This is all repeats of the same drum riff. I'm going to keep that one at 100%. And now let's take this one here. So we're going to highlight it, just click and drag across it, super easy. And then we're going to go to Effect, and remember that the one we want is Change Tempo here. And I've used this before and I've taken it down 10%, so that's why it's kind of automatically doing that. But we're going to go down to 95%. So let's go -5. Okay, so we're going to -5% right there. And then we're going to say OK. And you can preview this actually. So you see this right here? You can click preview and we'll hear what it sounds like at 95%. So if you're trying to judge what you need and you're not sure, that's a great way to do it, and you can adjust this until you have it just right for the speed that's going to work for you. When you've got that, then you're going to click OK. You can see it made this section just a little bit longer. And let's go take this one, we're going to highlight this one, and let's make this one, I'm going to take this one down to 90, so this time we're going to go down by 10. And we can hear that. We got that. And now let's do one more. We'll just do an 85. So we're going to come back here and change tempo. Where are you? Oh, there you are. There. Okay. And then we're going to go down by 15. And let's hear that. Alright, so now we know what those sound like. Alright, so we've got these first ones here and we've adjusted them. And of course, you know, you're going to do your whole piece, so you would just highlight from the beginning and you're going to go from here and you're going to drag all the way to the end of your piece to do that. I just wanted to show you how to do a couple of them. So now we have our file and we're going to save this. And again, this is just the working copy. So we're going to save project and it's going to make the actual working file. But now we need to export this. So we're going to go now to File again and we're going to go to Export Audio. And we're going to look at where it's going to put it. And let's see, we're going to put this, alright, I have a big old file of things that I've edited, and here it is, right here. Here's my edits. So I'm going to check the file name that it's what I want, and it's going to the place where I'm going to expect to look for it, and I'm going to hit save, and I'm going to change it, and I'm going to change this, and I'm going to put drum solo clips, slow, no, whatever it is you want to name your file. and you've already decided where to save it, and if you want to put any other notation on it with a year or something else, comments, so that you can find it later, then that's it. And you're going to say OK, and it's going to export this just like that. Okay, so there you can see it's really actually a pretty simple process, and you can really get some good results in your practice if you slow your music down just a little bit. Now you can also, of course, increase the speed of your music, so you can go to a +5. Sometimes you have a piece that just doesn't have enough energy to it for some reason, or perhaps it's for a competition and you are just a few seconds over, then you can kind of squeeze that piece a little bit. And that's another thing you can do with the change tempo. Remember, you want to use change tempo and not change speed on your music. So I hope you guys found it useful, and if you like this tip, let me know and we'll do some other things. Perhaps we can do some splicing music or something like that if you find that that's something that you're interested in learning how to do in Audacity. And if you have pieces that maybe need a little more editing than you're comfortable doing, I do some music editing sometime from time to time when people ask, so you can always just give me an email and ask me about the project you have in mind. So alright, that's what I have for you today, and you guys have a great week. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.